accordance with its goals, Historia offers you Historia Lane, aiming to promote the importance of studying history and develop an understanding of these events relevant to being responsible citizens of the country.
Paggalugad sa kasaysayan, kami maaasahan, boses ng katotohanan, sandigan ng sambayanan.
Ito ang Mata ng Bayan, Historia Lane. Ako si Claire.
At ako naman si Caluyo.
Ito ang Historia Lane, boses ng sambayanan.
With the titles High School Department of Marikina Institute of Science and Technology, now known as Marikina Polytechnic College, the Marikina Science High School has evolved into a prestigious public high school in Marikina City.
Marisci is now in its 20th year since its establishment. This success will not come into fruition without the support from the administration, teachers, and students.
So Yumi,
Ano
na ang kasalukuyang kalagayan ng Marisci sa paggunita nito ng pagtatatag ng paaralan sa gitna ng pandemya?
Ako, Ate Claire, malaki ang naging pagbabago ng pandemya sa ating paaralan. This narrowed our opportunities para makita natin ng pisikal ang ating mga kaibigan, kaklase at guro. Ngunit para sa akin, hindi naging hadlang ang pandemyang ito upang mapawi ang kasiyahan sa paggunita ng pundasyon ng Marisci.
I believe tama, Yumi. Nagsusumikap ang ating administrasyon upang mapanatiling ang daloy ng kagalakan at kasaysayan para sa bawat isa. Ang mga alaala na mayroon tayo ng Marisci, mabuti man o malungkot, ay patuloy nating pahahalagahan.
Tungkol sa, since nandito na tayo sa topic na ito, no? Ate Claire, can you tell us what activities we can experience while celebrating Marisci's foundation?
This is very, very nostalgic. I remember that we will hold the event for a week where each club and organization would set up their own booths inside the campus and offer activities and services. More than anything else, programs were also held to formally welcome Marisci on its new stepping stone towards success.
Wow naman, ang dami palang programs and booths, no? So,
Yes.
tunay nga nating mararamdaman ang diwa ng kasayahan at kasaysayan sa selebrasyon ito. Siguro, maaari na rin natin simulan ang ating pakikisama sa selebrasyon sa pamamagitan ng pagiging maalam sa ating pundasyon. Kaya, tara na!
Let's go!
Go!
Narito ang ikalawang episode ng Historia Lane, Marisci at 20.
Marikina Science High School is a special public school in the division of Marikina City that caters to intellectually gifted students who came from various elementary schools, not only in Marikina, but also in the nearby cities and municipalities. The school believes that discipline, good taste, and excellence are always the standards of an effective school. So, how did Marikina Science High School come to be as it is today?
Well, Marikina Science High School was founded on the 18th of July 1947 as Marikina Junior High School through Municipal Council Resolution Number 59 Series of 1947. This is done to jumpstart higher education in the city of Marikina, which was then under the administration of Gil Fernando.
Fernando then became regarded as the father of secondary education in Marikina, who worked together with Thomas L. Santos after World War II to recognize his integrity, eloquence, and learning for the rehabilitation of schools. In 1952, it changed its name to the Leo de Garia Victorino Memorial High School in honor of Leo de Garia Victorino, former councilor of Marikina. It was then renamed as Marikina School of Arts and Trades in 1957 and again as Marikina Institute of Science and Technology in 1978.
To ensure an efficient administration of secondary and technical vocational education, Joint Memorandum Circular Number 1, Series of 2001, dated May 8, 2001, was signed by DepEd Testa Base Special Provision Number 19 of the 1997 General Appropriations Act, which provides for the phase-out, and the transfer of secondary programs of TESDA administered schools to DepEd. This is where Marikina Science High School traces its origin.
On November 8, 2001, the secondary level was separated from Marikina Institute of Science and Technology, giving way to the establishment of what is now Marikina Science High School. Meanwhile, through Republic Act 9289, the college sector of MIST was renamed as Marikina Polytechnic College in 2004.
The MIST High School Department being one of those TESDA-administered high schools is not an exemption. It has to be transferred to DepEd. Since MIST has been implementing a science curriculum in its math and science section since 1978, the Sangguniang Panglungsod ng Marikina passed Resolution Number 118 Series of 2001, converting MIST High School Department into Marisci. It was approved and signed on September 26, 2001.
With the collaborative efforts of the Marikina City Government, TESDA, and DepEd, the MISC High School Department was smoothly transferred and converted into the Marikina Science High School. Education Secretary Raul Rocco finally signed its approval on February 5, 2002 with Mr. Laro Z. de Guzman as its first principal and administrator.
Finally, Marisci was born. At mula sa kasaysayan ng pagtatag ng ating Marisci, Yumi, ano naman ang mga highlights ng selebrasyong ito?
Ate Claire, marami-raming highlights to, no? Itong kaganapang ito ang laging pinakahihintay ng ating mga mag-aaral. Talaga naman. Ako rin.
Yes, ako din. Same.
Ang selebrasyong ito ay tunay na makabuluhan para sa bawat isa sa atin dahil nakikibahagi tayo sa pagsalubong ng ating minamahal na Marisci sa panibagong taon ng tagumpay. In this regard, the event usually starts with a mass followed by the program proper, which consists of messages from the office of the principal and its administrative staff. The school fair, consisting of various booths set up by the different clubs and organizations, would then start operating, signifying the merry celebration.
At nagbabalik ang Historia Lane, boses ng sambayanan.
As the celebration becomes frolic as every moment passes, every Marisian will never want to miss the opportunity to watch and become one in the merry atmosphere. With so many things to do, this celebration remains as Marisci's most proudest event.
At dahil dito, aming inibitahan ang former president ng Historia Club. Malugod po namin kayong binabate, Ate Christine Angeline Reig.
Hello! Isang hello naman dyan.
Hi guys! Hello! Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you po for accepting our invitation. So ate, as an alumna, paano mo po mailalarawan ang Marikina Science High School bilang isang estudyanteng nag-aral dito?
So, wait, do I have to answer in English or Filipino or kahit ano?
Kahit ano po, kung saan po kayo comfortable.
Sure. So, I would paint Marisci as an institution that has really helped me grow as a person. Like, at first, even as a grade 7 student, it's really difficult. It's really challenging. It's a different level of challenge compared to, when I was in grade school, stuff like that. But now that I'm in college, when I look back to it now, I can see that all those challenges, the fact that I was able to face them and I was able to get through them, they really contributed to my growth as a person. And without those challenges, I don't think I would be the same person as I am right now. So as an institution, Marisci is challenging but ultimately useful in your development as a person.
Napakaganda ng sagot, pang Miss Universe.
Totally relatable.
Parang nahiya ako as the one that will ask question. Parang hindi ko matapos yun.
Kailangan mo, V.
So ngayon na, di ba, pinoint out mo yung kung gaano ka-challenging yung Marisci as an institution. And of course, meron rin tayong, di ba, celebrations and programs. So, for
Yes.
our second question, how can you describe your experience of celebrating the founding anniversary? And what is the one activity that you find enjoyable in the celebration?
Okay. So honestly, when I received the invitation for this interview, I kind of surveyed my closest friends from high school on what they remember about the foundation day. Because the thing is, now that we're in college, and also I think because we spent our last year in high school in the middle of the pandemic, stuck at home, I feel like high school memories are getting blurred more easily, including the foundation day. Or maybe it's just a sign of aging for us, I don't know.
I
But
believe
one
tama.
consensus tama ba? Char? Yeah, but one consensus among us is that during the celebration of Foundation Day, or at least before the pandemic, there were so many booths in Marisci. I think the different clubs and organizations, they had their own booths, but we also had like I don't know what they're called, kind of like quote unquote outsider booths. So basically, for the club and orgs, we had like jail booth from the BSP, wedding booth from the GSP. We also had chain booth, and for Historia, we had different games like Pinoy games, as far as I can remember.
Yes.
Yeah, right. We set those up. Yeah. Then um for sponsored booths, we also had like Mogu Mogu fried ice cream. So it's different from what we eat from the canteen every day. Ganon. So as for my personal experience, I feel like Foundation Day is the one day in the whole school year that you should definitely bring money with you. Like to bail yourself out of the jail booth, or to like play some games with your friends, or maybe you want to chain yourself to your crush or even get married to them. Yeah, definitely bring money. So it's a fun and chill experience overall. You won't really feel the pressure to participate in like every single booth as well. I feel like every student can find a place during the foundation day. Like, if you're the type of person who just prefers to chill, you can just talk to your friends in the classroom. Or better yet, if you don't want to risk being caught by, the jail boothers, you could also like watch films in the computer lab. Because I also remember that that's the way they raise funds during the foundation day. Like a simple theater that was really fun for us. But I would definitely suggest getting out there and spending some time and money to play with your friends, chain or wed yourself to your crush, or buy some food from the sponsored booths. Yeah. Also, I would really recommend you guys to take pictures, because right now my friends and I are having a difficult time reminiscing the foundation day because we have zero photos from that event. So,
Oh
yeah, foundation.
no.
I know, right? Yeah, but foundation day is pretty fun and chill because there's like no competition involved. Like, during Budal fight, you have a competition like between sections on your costumes or the table setup, stuff like that. Then for intrams, you have competitions for different sports. Also, cheer dance competition for grade 10. Yeah, but foundation day, you just really have fun. And an activity that I found enjoyable, I don't think this is applicable for anyone, but I would probably say setting up the booths. Like even before,
Same.
right? Even before the
Tama.
foundation day for the officers of the different clubs and organizations, we would stay extra late in school to meet, talk about what we're going to do, and to actually set up the booths. So when I look back at it now, I'm really thankful to myself for spending those extra time and effort, because I now have those memories with me. So yeah, if you also have the chance to participate in that way as a member or officer of a club or organization, definitely take it. So um just to get more specific, so what I did, or the booths that I was assigned to. So for YesO, before I was also a grade 8 representative, and we were kind of like the eco police. So we would penalize students, teachers, visitors that would, quote unquote, harm the environment or like
Grabe sa
throw
harm.
garbage improperly. Yeah, but yeah, that was fun. And then for Historia, yeah, I was with Claire, I think, yeah, and Kyla, right? We were setting up like basketball
Yes.
games. So that was fun, and a really good training as well for when you join organizations in college because it's a lot of work. Yeah, but it's a good coach.
Sobrang war flashbacks talaga ang face-to-face foundation day. Grabe. Kapag nakapila ka sa fried ice cream at nakabili ka ng fried ice cream, elite ka na sa
True.
haba ng pila.
Yeah.
So, how did celebrating the founding anniversary become relevant to adopting the beliefs of discipline, good taste, and excellence as standards for effective history as a Marisayan? Or why celebrate founding anniversaries?
Oh, that's a great question. So that's okay. So let's shift to serious mode. Okay, for good taste, discipline, excellence. It pushes us to just pause, I guess, to pause and look at how we've contributed to the institution. Because over the years, the institution has produced, many professionals, academics, etc. So maybe, it's a time for us to step back and look at what we can contribute as well. So, as to why we celebrate founding anniversaries, I thought of like three reasons on why we should celebrate and should continue celebrating founding anniversaries. First, because it's a great way to generate funds. So I'd say that Marisci clubs and orgs really have a lot of great proposed events and activities to offer the student body. However, not
I
a
believe
lot of
tama.
them, yeah, not a lot of them are being accomplished though. Or maybe some of them are being accomplished, but not to the fullest extent due to the lack of funds. So I'd say founding anniversaries is a great way to support the hard work of the clubs and orgs and also the PTA actually to help them serve the student body better. So, we can be more excellent in that way. Second, it's also a great way to alleviate stress. As science high school students, we really have the burden to study and work on a lot of homeworks, performance tasks, stuff like that. However, during Foundation Day celebrations, we get the time to be in school without the stress of academic stuff, or maybe just a little bit less stressful, where we can just appreciate our teachers, classmates, the school in general for what they can offer us beyond lessons within a classroom. Because it's also important that we learn how to socialize and know how to rest, when to rest in the midst of many schoolworks. And events such as the Foundation Day are great avenues for that, I think. Third and last, I think it's a time where we can, where we can pause and appreciate the institution that has served the community for many years. To appreciate this, small building that has been a part of the history of thousands of students, professionals, academics, other big names. And this third reason we probably forget the most, but I think that's okay because at the moment you just have to enjoy with your friends, and in the future you'll see how it all worked out for you, how Marisci as an institution has contributed to your knowledge, your personal growth, to be excellent, have good taste, have discipline, also help you have a social life, just, improve your history as a human being. And it's amazing to think that you're not alone in that as well. It's amazing that Marisci has contributed in those ways and many more in so many people's lives. So overall, founding anniversaries are great avenues to appreciate the institution, the stakeholders, and also yourself, and a great way to have fun.
I know. I
Tama.
agree. I agree with everything. Everything.
Yes,
Sinabi mo. Kasi
everything.
100% tunay. Tama.
Legit
So like you said,
affirmative.
Thank you for the validation.
like you said kanina, no, there's a serious side to yung celebrations ito. Meron
Yeah.
tayong fun side and meron tayong heartwarming side. Lahat na ginagawa natin ngayon, di ba? As well as kung paano natin sineselebrate yung Foundation Week ngayon is part of history. It's an experience and it's a part of history. So, to sum it up, do you have any message you want to convey in relation to whatever sentiments you have in learning about history and founding anniversaries?
Okay. So from that question, I think that to have like two answers now. So let's start with learning about history. I'm really trying to like avoid getting off on a tangent here, but yeah, since our topic is about founding anniversaries, but I think this is important to mention given recent events. I think that learning about history has never been more crucial than now, during the election season. Even before, when I was still the president of Historia Club, we really focused on voter education because we feel that as lovers of history, it is our duty, part of our responsibilities to disseminate those kind of information, especially in time of elections. But this is not limited to elections only. I think it's applicable to life in general. Learning about history is so important because we have to look at the past to determine our future. It's so cliche, and we've always said this as officers over and over again, but we really learn from our mistakes in the past. And in our present condition, there are already historical revisions. So we also have to be meticulous now. We have that additional burden. So for us, let's not just take history, but let's really learn it. And part of learning or relearning history is being a responsible learner, and so far as knowing the right sources for the truth about the past. Basically, let's not be vessels for historical revisions. Let's let the truth about the past prevail. On the other hand, the second part, in terms of founding anniversaries, it's also connected to history, right? Like, as I've mentioned before, as stakeholders of Marisci, we are part of its history as an institution, and at the same time, Marisci is a part of our individual histories. So it's important to appreciate that existing mutual relationship and contributions. And founding anniversary celebrations are a great way to, appreciate that. To the students of Marisci now, I know that's probably not clear to you yet, like how Marisci is contributing to your growth as a person. I know that it wasn't clear to me before when I was in your place, but I think that's okay, and I genuinely believe that the time will come when you'll realize that you'll feel immense gratitude for the school, the teachers as well, your classmates, staff also, of course, that have all been a part of your high school life. So make sure you spend your time meaningfully, especially when you already get the chance for face-to-face. Yes, spend your time meaningfully because you'll definitely miss it when you get to college. For my batch, it was quite sad in the middle of the pandemic. I feel like we didn't have that chance to cry and express how much we're going to miss each other and the institution. So yeah, really make the most out of the activities such as the foundation day. Actively participate, because those will be the days where you can build the best memories you'll bring with you forever. Maybe you're hesitating now, like maybe it's gonna be so much work, but trust me, it's going to be your best decision. Yeah, especially when you get to college and the org work is like 100 times more active, let's say. So yeah, that's all.
Ayun with what Ate Reig said, kumbaga, sana, yung mga nasabi niya, yung mga learnings na natutunan natin ay hindi lang natin matatak sa isipan natin, pero ma-apply rin natin sa life natin, within ourselves and para sa bansa.
Yes.
Tama ka, Ate Reig.
Tama yun, tama.
Yes,
All I can
thank
say is
you.
tama. Ayun maraming salamat po, Binibining Reig, sa pagbibigay ng inyong oras para sa ating napakahusay na talakayan.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bilang karagdagan, amin ding iniimbitahan ang newly elected Grade 7 representative ng Historia Club. Malugod po namin kayong binabati, Carlene Beatrice Triviño mula sa Grade 7 Patients. Hello!
Hello po, maraming salamat po sa imbitasyon.
Hello! Thank you rin sa pag-accept ng aming invitation.
Grabe, salamat. Grabe, deserving kami ng pagtanggap niyo.
Deserve na deserve.
Ayun na. So, with the first question, so since I'm obviously, no, na you're new here, so far, how can you describe your experience of celebrating the founding anniversary through our live coverage online given the pandemic?
The 20th founding anniversary of Marisci is really memorable. My sister, who is a Marician, had experienced this type of celebration. They told me that there are some food stalls, games, plays, shows, etc. At syempre, dahil nakapasok ako sa Marisci, I want to experience this type of events. So I hope that face-to-face can start as soon as possible and to experience this events, not only me and the other new students can have a lot of memories to unlock as a Marician.
Talaga namang may pag-mention ng kapatid. At may pag-mention pa talaga ng Finlex ang Marisci Foundation Day. Anyways, what memorable experience stands out the most for you while celebrating the event online?
I would say the memorable experience is watching the Marisci company dance. I really admire people's talents and watching MC these talents is really amazing in my opinion.
Thanks, Char. Thanks. Siguro for
Ang busy daw.
Yes, ako to guys. Ako lang to. Pasensya na. Siguro for our last question, bilang isang bagong Marician, do you have any message na gusto mong i-convey in relation to whatever sentiments you have in learning about history and founding anniversaries despite the pandemic?
Learning the history is very important. Some people say that the history is boring. For me, it's not. History has many mysteries and stories, and these stories will surely encourage a lot of people. I started watching history movies, and the hero's messages is really meaningful to me. And this is what we need to understand. We can't just abandon the past and concentrate on the future. We still have a lot to learn what happened before we born. Because if we learn the past, we can control the future.
Wow, history is a mystery. I believe tama ka doon. Maraming salamat, Carlene Beatrice Triviño, sa pagbibigay ng oras mo para sa ating napakahusay na talakayan. Isang araw na ipinagdiriwang ang anibersaryo ng pagkakatatag ng isang lipunan o organisasyon kung saan pinarangalan ang tagapagtatag nito.
Kaya para sa ating mga historians, ipagdiriwang natin ang Foundation Day upang magbigay ng paulit-ulit na sandali ng memorya at imahinasyon. Ito ay isang araw tungkol sa kamalayan ng mga makasaysayang realidad, kasalukuyang katotohanan, at mapanlikhang pagsasaalang-alang sa ating kinabukasan.
Tinatawagan tayo ng pagdiriwang na pagnilayan ng ating mga pinagmulan bilang mga Marician, produce students who are disciplined with good taste and excellence, competent and ready for life, and to be a well-rounded individual to be of service to the society.
Celebrating our foundation also calls us to acknowledge, critique, and celebrate the establishment being made in our time. Foundation Day is a prompt to us to imagine and creatively envision a future that represents fidelity to our origins. At the same time, seeking to achieve balance as we grasp emerging new insights, possibilities, and technologies that will help us to care for those we serve.
Foundation Day is an occasion to remember, acknowledge our own moment in history, and envision the future with hope and fidelity.
At dyan nagtatapos ang ating ikalawang episode ng Historia Lane, Marisci at 20. Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood at pakikidiwang. Ano ang gusto nyong pag-usapan natin para sa susunod na episode? Magkomento o mas mabuti pa, makipag-chat sa amin for more content ideas.
If you enjoyed our episode, please share, like, and subscribe to our channel, Marisci Historia Club, so we can keep making more content to satisfy your curiosity. Also, support our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest news and updates.
Paggalugad sa kasaysayan, kami maaasahan. Boses ng katotohanan, sandigan ng sambayanan.
Ito ang Mata ng Bayan, Historia Lane. Ako si Claire Triviño.
At ako naman si Yumi Caluyo.
Ito ang Marisci Historia Club. Happy 20th year, Marisci!